Starting off here out the front to show you what I've been working on this week, and you can probably see that it looks completely different. Well, let's just say a bit more neater looking than it did before. This is probably the best this area has ever looked. So I did a nice clean edging line and I mulched it more, and I also made this structure over here out of you know, the branches from the apple tree, so you can see it there. I haven't quite finished it, but I just used a bit of twine to connect everything together. I want to do another couple of layers across here, and I'll put something at the base to grow up it. I might even go with maybe a clematis or maybe even some kind of native climbing plant. There's some bearded irises over here. I hope they flower this year. And this pot I broke this week. I was really annoyed with myself, but I'm going to put it to good use. I'm going to bury it a bit more in the ground and have these flowers kind of poking out. There's some pansies. And over here, past all these lovely flowering plants, some violas there. I've got my Cape gooseberries. I grew these Cape gooseberries or ground cherries from seed last year, and I did a bit of experiment to see if I could overwinter them here in my garden, and it looks like it's been very successful because you've got some nice healthy growth there at the base. All I need to do is trim off the top branches. So what happened here is there was a lovely canopy on top, and we get mild frost, so the mild frost killed off some of the leaves, but it protected the ones at the bottom. So I'm going to need to harvest some of these Cape gooseberries. Let me see, they actually, some of them just fall to the ground. Let's have a look at this one. See, it's a lovely sweet berry. And last summer these plants got attacked by the three-striped potato beetle, and I'm hoping this year they'll have a bit better chance, but I do have quite a few there now that I can harvest. So I will come out when I get a chance and pick all of them off and cut them right back, because the weather is starting to warm up now and I don't think we're going to get any more frosts. It's funny when, you know, you have to get down and taking out weeds. You can see the garden from a different perspective, and I noticed this little area this week with the lovely yellow flowers of this brassica that's bolted with the backdrop of the blue garage door, and then all these lovely flowers like the stock. There's some lettuce there as well, and a poppy plant. It's just a nice little area to take in and enjoy. And the callivias have started to come into bloom in the garden. You can see one of those orange flowers over there. They like a nice shaded position, so I put a few of those plants under this camellia tree. And here are some more clivia plants with some blooms on them, these lovely orange flowers. I've seen in recent years that you can buy these now in yellow. The one thing about these plants is they're so expensive to buy, so when I moved in here and saw that I already had this amount in the garden, I was delighted. And over the years I've just been dividing it up and trying to spread them more and more around my garden. So I think in a little while I might purchase one of the yellow flowering clivias. It'll probably cost a bit because I think they're around $25–30 per plant, which is quite expensive, but I can definitely appreciate the beauty in them, and I think I'm going to pick a couple of these flowers now to bring inside to the house. Such a great sight to see all these little raindrops hanging off all the plants, and even plants flopping over with the weight of the rain that fell on it. It's just wonderful. And here you can see there's lots of ranunculus there. I moved all my pots that were over here out so that they get a bit more of the rainwater, so I'll need to move all of them back. But it's going to be a beautiful day today, and just you wait until next week and I bet you everything will have grown so much more after we got all this lovely natural rainwater. And I finally managed to get around to mulching underneath these trees. There's some more of those containers I moved out. So that's all done. I'm slowly ticking off all the jobs before the judges come out in a couple of weeks. But there is something quite exciting to show you over here in the brassica bed that I noticed last week. Let me show you now. So finally I'm getting something out of this patch here. This is a gorgeous Romanesco brassica, and you can see there it's very intricate with its design. And this is actually an heirloom from Italy, and my one's not a great example, but if you Google it online you can see that it has this natural fractal, which is quite beautiful to think that nature is able to create this. I've got a few little things to show you over here in the raised garden bed area. Some of my gladioli bulbs have started to sprout back. I actually bought some more, so I've got 10 more to put in the ground. And over here I have my ornamental pear that I bought last year, but I still haven't put it out into the ground, and you notice there that there's some flower buds on it. And my plan with this ornamental pear is to put it over here at the back of the raised beds there, and eventually over the years it will form a lovely canopy and a nice focal point for when you're looking into this area of the garden. Over here, this plant is called a lacy Facilia. I'll put the name up on the screen. And I know everyone goes on about borage and what a wonderful pollinating plant it is. It attracts lots of bees, but this one here I find is equally as good. And a few years ago I had this growing in my garden. I got it from a mixed bee pollinator pack, seed pack, and I never knew what it was, and I managed to track down some seeds this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing this plant here being absolutely covered in flowers and bees. And the one thing I'll have to note with this plant is that it can actually get so huge. Like if I come around this way, you can see down here that I have a cabbage that's been absolutely swamped by it. I really need to, you know, prune it back so that cabbage gets a bit of light. This accidental combination of flowers here with these little small yellow flowers from the turnip that's bolted, along with the orange flowers of the calendula, porcupine calendula, is just stunning. What a lovely accidental flowering combination. And here, this is my Upcycle Fire Pit that I planted all these wallflowers in. And look, I actually have flowers on it. These opened up a couple of days ago, and you can see there's so many more flower buds all around it. So I reckon by next week this will be covered in blooms. And over here by the main entrance, I noticed that I have a tulip popping up. I think this is a canary yellow one. I can't quite remember what I put in this pot from last year, but that was a nice pleasant surprise. This lovely flower popping up amongst the Johnny Jump violas. Got more mulching done. I finished off around the strawberry patch, so that looks a bit neater. And down here, guess what happened this week? The peony poppies bloomed. The first one bloomed. It has drooped so much now in the rain, but you know what? I took a photo and I'm going to insert it now to show you this one here in all its glory. But look, there's so many more opening now, and this one over here, I think by the end of the day this one will be in flower as well. But let me insert this photo so you can check it out. And around this way I finished off mulching the garden beds under the wattle trees, and all along here I need to get that fence fixed. That will be a job for this weekend. And all along there is mulch too. That's where I have some hydrangeas. And then here back to the strawberry patch. And I have a new addition to the garden this week. Past these lovely Dutch irises and all of the calendula flowers that just keep on going, I have a new bee bath which I just put together. It's an old log for the base and a tin from an old bin, and I put some pebbles and stones inside it there and some water, so the bees can come here and have a little drink without any fear of drowning. They can just rest themselves on some of those little pebbles and stones. Still lots of flowers on the jasmine. And over here past the lemon tree, I fixed up the archway that has the Pandoria growing over it. You can see, we'll go over a bit closer. There's starting to some flowers on it here, little bell type flowers, and hopefully now in a couple of years it will completely cover this archway. But for the moment, I checked this week, I had Scarlet Runner beans growing on this archway this summer, and I tried to overwinter them, and I think I've been successful. So Scarlet Runner beans are actually perennial, and if you live in a mild winter climate like me, it's possible to overwinter them. And you can see there, that's the tuber. So I only sowed a seed last year and it's grown this much over the summer. There's one there and there's some more underneath the soil. And I just need to weed this section, clear it out, remulch it, and hopefully I'll see some fresh sprouts, and I'll get another crop of Scarlet Runner beans this summer. So there's a lovely handful of the Clivia flowers, and if you're new to my channel, I do upload a video every single Friday, which is a general garden update. And coming into the summer months now here in Australia, I'll be doing more garden harvests. So if that's something you're interested in, I would love if you would subscribe to my channel. And you can also find me on Instagram at GG the Garden Girl. Well, it's time for me to head inside. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all again next Friday.